Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is CK with CK's Antics National Holidays. Today is Friday, December 18th. And welcome to the almost weekend. You've made it to the end of the work week, depending on what time of day you're watching this. Maybe you're done with work and you're coasting into your weekend routine. Either way, you did a great job this week. You deserve some time off. So, oh yeah, one more thing. Before we get into national holidays, we have to talk about it because today's like a bittersweet day. If you've been watching The Mandalorian, you know that today released the season finale of season 2 of The Mandalorian. And these last 8 weeks, we've been taken on quite a ride with the antics of The Mandalorian and, of course, the adorable Baby Yoda. And since some of you may have not watched yet, I don't want to do any spoilers. So Baby Yoda is Baby Yoda because we learn a lot more about the Baby Yoda during season 2 of The Mandalorian. So anyways, that's what I just wanted to say. Season finale today. I'll watch it tonight. Easily watch it tonight. I don't know how long I'm going to be able to restrain myself, but I'm hoping to have a group watch party with a couple friends and enjoy the season finale. I hope they don't leave us with too much of a cliffhanger because it's going to be brutal waiting a whole year and change for the release of season 3, which they already said is coming out December 25th of 2021. Yeah, so it's coming out Christmas Day next year. So that's brutal. That's a long wait because the last 2 years they've released the season in October. So anyways, yeah, we'll be doing a lot of rewatching of season 1 and season 2. Anyways, I digress. You're here about national holidays. So what is happening today on the calendar? Good question. And you know what? You have a great number of things to celebrate today. So here they are. There are, I believe, 6. We've got Answer the Telephone like Buddy Elf. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, don't worry. I will tell you that when we talk about it. We also have Arabic Language Day, Bake Cookies Day. Again, perfect timing for this holiday to fall. On Friday, you're hopefully done with the work week. You're rolling into the weekend. You can maybe stay up a little bit later than your normal bedtime. And, you know, if you got kids, they can stay up a little bit later as well. A good time to make some cookies with them. So, yes, bake cookies today. International Migrants Day, National Roast Suckling Pig Day, and finally, National Ugly Sweater Day. So those are your holidays for today, December 18th. So let's get into the nitty-gritty and all the details of these holidays. Are you ready? Okay, here we go. Buddy Elf, what's your favorite color? And that, folks, is how you're supposed to answer the phone today on Answer the Phone like Buddy Elf Day. So, yep, that's it. It's quick, it's simple, it's easy. You say, Buddy Elf, what's your favorite color? So that's how I want you to answer your phone today. All day. Work phone, personal phone, everything. Have some fun with it. It's Friday. Go ahead. Let some steam off, relax, have some fun. But anyways, if you have no idea still what I'm talking about, this is based off the Christmas movie, Elf. And if you do know what I'm talking about and you're really excited and you like the movie Elf, if you haven't seen on Netflix the holiday movies that made us, I highly recommend you watch it. If you like, obviously, Elf and you like The Nightmare Before Christmas, those are the only 2 movies they kind of do behind the scenes, how it was made, and totally worth it. And you can obviously just watch one episode, but both of them are really, really good. Anyways, I learned a lot about Buddy Elf about Elf, the movie, that I did not know. And we'll cover a little bit right now. Okay, so first, the writer, David Barenbaum, actually wrote the script in 1993. Yeah, long time ago. That's crazy, huh? But it didn't debut until 2003. So there's a lot of stuff that happened between, obviously, 93 and 2003, why it didn't get produced, and all that stuff. And if you really want to know all the history behind that, definitely go watch the holiday movies that made us on Netflix. Totally worth it, I promise. The episode's like 40 minutes long, so worth it. Anyways, Will Ferrell is the main character, who is Buddy Elf. He does a phenomenal job. Will Ferrell actually left SNL in 2002 to start his film acting career, so that's great and perfect timing. Buddy Elf debuts in 2003, comes in second in the box office that weekend, right behind The Matrix Reloaded. They made over $33 million in sales that weekend, which coincidentally covered the cost of production, which was $33 million, so that's pretty cool. In 2010, Elf the Musical debuted on Broadway for the Christmas season, and it has grossed over $1 million. And finally, Elf is the 5th highest grossing Christmas movie of all time. And for Will Ferrell, it is the 2nd highest grossing movie of his career. And that, folks, is all I have for, you guessed it, Buddy Elf. What's your favorite color? Yes. No, that is not Buddy Elf. But I can't really use a picture of Buddy Elf because that would be copyright. So instead, you get a nice, cool stock photo of a dog dressed like Elf. So there you go. But yes, that's all I have for this fun day. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you actually have some fun with this special day. Buddy Elf, what's your favorite color? Okay, so next up is Arabic Language Day. And it's just that, recognizing the Arabic language. So Arabic is actually spoken by more than 400 million people in 25 countries. It's one of the world's most ancient languages and the 6th most common spoken language in the world. On December 18th of 1993, the United Nations actually recognized Arabic as one of the 6 official UN languages. So a little history behind the Arabic language starts in 512, when an inscription on a temple near Aleppo, Syria, was discovered as the oldest known record of the written Arabic language, which is kind of cool. In 610, the Prophet Muhammad receives his first revelation, marking the birth of one of the world's largest religions. In 793, the language is formalized, and Arab scholars actually start translating works from Greece, China, and India. In 840, Sabovia, a Persian scholar, codifies Arabic grammar and then writes the first Arabic dictionary. That's pretty cool. Here are 5 interesting facts about the Arabic language. Are you ready? Here we go. There are no capital letters in the Arabic language. Instead, they use quotation marks to emphasize certain words. Also, Arabic has over 100 words for camel, to include, here it is, words that mean a camel frightened by anything, and a female camel who walks ahead of other camels. Yes, very interesting. Also, Arabic language is written from right to left, and it is always written in cursive, to include if you were to try to type it on your computer, it would still come out in cursive. So that I thought was really, really cool. There's actually no print version of the Arabic language. And also, Arabic has no contractions. So that means no combining of words to shorten them. And that is all I have about the Arabic language. Let's see what we have next. Okay, so it is Bake Cookies Day. So it's a Friday. Perfect timing for this holiday to happen. And, well, that's really it. The gist is bake cookies today. But there is some history just in terms of where did the cookie come from and all that good stuff. So, 7th century in the Persian Empire, which is believed to be the first country to grow sugar and sugar like stuff and made like a sugary cookie type pastry thing. And that's where they think cookies originated from. In 1796, author Amelia Simmons published American Cookery, which, by the way, was the first cookbook written by an American and published in the US. It had 2 recipes for cookies. They were cookies and Christmas cookies. Yeah, I know, right? Really, really inventive names. And then in 1921, baking icon Betty Crocker is created by the Washburn Crosby Milling Company. And they created her. It's not a real person. It was created because that was who responded to basically their fan mail and any questions that they received. So that's why they created that character. And 1938 chocolate chippy cookies were created by Ruth Graves Wakefield and Sue Brides. That's pretty cool. July 9th, 1997, the chocolate chip cookie is declared as the official cookie for the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. So those are the historical facts about the cookie. Here are some just interesting overall facts about cookies. Here they are, ready? The average American eats approximately 35,000 cookies in their lifetime. What? That's a lot of cookies. 35 million cookies in a lifetime. 245 million Americans consumed ready-to-eat cookies in 2020. 2020 is not even over yet. So I'm curious to know if that number might go a little bit higher or if they just rounded out or projected out what it would be. And if you are worried about, hey, you know what? That cookie is might throw me over the top. It's a little not healthy, blah, blah, blah. Guess what? If you bake anything, really, baking in general, they say, burns 348 calories an hour. So at least if it takes you an hour to bake something, then I would say you at least deserve 1 cookie. You've burned 348 calories. So yeah, you've definitely earned yourself at least 1 cookie. All right. And then the chocolate chip cookie is the most popular cookie, which I'm not surprised, and common cookie baked each year. And finally, the biggest cookie ever recorded was baked in 2003 and came in at 40,000 pounds. And that is all I have for Bake Cookie Day. Next up, we have International Migrants Day. In 1965, the U.S. adopts a new immigration policy. In 1997, a network of Asian migrant organizations begins celebrating December 18th as an International Day of Solidarity with migrants. In 2012, following the beginning of the Syrian conflict, the first camp for refugees was set up in Jordan. In 2020, families continue to flee violence and destruction in northwest Syria. Here are 5 facts about refugees. 1% of the human race is displaced. 68% of all refugees come from one of 5 countries. Syria has the largest, followed by Venezuela, Afghanistan, Sudan, and Myanmar. And the number of refugees making their way to Europe has significantly decreased, and approximately 95% of resettlement needs are unfulfilled. And finally, 40% of refugees are children, which is an estimated 34 million children and young people. And that is all I have on International Migrants Day. Okay, the next holiday we're talking about is National Roast Suckling Pig Day. Oh yes, who doesn't like a nice roasted pig? I apologize for anyone who might be a vegan or vegetarian. I won't keep this picture up here for long, but it looks delicious. I'm sorry, it does. I'm salivating. This looks so good. Anyways, some history, right? 218 BC, the Roman Empire invades Hispania, but of course, Romans, what are they going to do? Bring some of their traditions along, and one of those is the roast suckling pig. And of course, the Spanish, make it their own dish, and of course, it develops a little bit more, right? Gets a little bit more of a cool Spanish kind of twist. In the 6th century, the earliest mention of the suckling pig appears in its records dating back from the 6th century, such as the Salian Law. And then 1725, the Casa Botin in Madrid opens, and it is known as the oldest restaurant in Madrid, as well as, according to the Guinness Book of World Records, the oldest restaurant in the world, and it reportedly makes the best cochinillo asado, which I assume means roast suckling pig. And then in the 1930s, Don Candido, a Segovian tavern owner, takes this tradition of the roast suckling pig and adds a little fanciness to it. And he starts to cut the pig with a plate to show them just how tender it is, that you don't even need like a sharp knife or anything like that. And that is some history behind the roast suckling pig. But here's some other interesting facts. So the meat of the suckling pig is actually contains 40% less fat. So from a health perspective, if you're watching your cholesterol, this won't hurt it too much. It is also a sign of prosperity in China. A whole roast pig is a symbol of wealth and prosperity. Hemingway actually frequented the Casa Botan in Madrid to the point that he actually had his own little special table and section where he sat every time he ate there, and he always had the roast suckling pig. And then finally, in some traditions, the Spanish restaurants had an added twist to the cutting of the roast suckling pig with a plate, and now they've added a nice little twist to that, which is at the very end, they throw the plate down and smash the plate. And that is all I have on National Roast Suckling Pig Day. And the final holiday to talk about today is National Ugly Sweater Day. Who doesn't like a good ugly Christmas sweater, right? All right. So some of the history behind this. 1980, the first ugly sweater is made and is actually known as the Jingle Bell sweater. In 1989, the Jingle Bell sweaters reached a peak when it was part of the family picture for the National Lampoon Christmas Vacation, the movie. If you remember the whole family wearing the sweaters, yeah. After that, apparently there was a huge uptick in people wanting to wear the ugly sweaters. And then, 2002, the first known ugly sweater party happened in Vancouver, Canada, when they held a fundraising party for a friend for their cancer treatment. And in 2013, the uglychristmassweater.com or uglychristmassweater.com started and slowly gained momentum, and they have since made $5 million. Yeah. Can you imagine that? You start a website called Ugly Christmas Sweater, and all of a sudden, it spirals into $5 million. That's crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Interesting facts here, right? Let's do some interesting facts. And let's see if we can put on an ugly sweater while we talk about it. Oh, that's pretty good. So here's your ugly facts. 23% of people will buy an ugly sweater. So it means if you haven't bought one, you're going to be bound to buy one. 9% of people have celebrated like an ugly sweater party. And let's go to some other interesting facts about ugly sweaters. All right, here we go. Are you ready? This is fun. I promise you. It all started as a joke. Yep. So there was a resale company that started noticing all these, for lack of a better term, ugly sweaters that were coming in. Sweaters that were either horrible sweaters that they had purchased, sweaters that obviously family members had made, and stuff. And all these people were obviously turning them in. So, like, think Goodwill, Salvation Army, that kind of stuff. Right? We're putting these clothes in. And so they decided, they're like, you know what? Let's just sell them. You know, they weren't really going to do anything. And they said, you know what? As a joke, let's put them on for sale. And people started buying them. And lo and behold, they were making money off of it. So obviously they kept it up. And many people will relate to the ugly sweater. They can give it credence to the good old hipster, right? Maybe, I don't know. Whether this is a fact or not, I don't really know. And in 2012 to 2015, the ugly sweater industry grew by 200%. 200% in between 2012 and 2015. That's crazy. And then, of course, you can always shop for ugly sweaters to the point where you can actually get your favorite celebrity on a shirt. And that is all I have about ugly sweaters. And that brings us to the very end of today's national holidays. I hope you enjoyed them. If you are liking these videos, please be sure to, of course, like, subscribe, ring the bell. That way you get notified as soon as I go live, as well as when I drop any new content. And with that, I wish you all a wonderful Friday. Don't forget, Mandalorian today. If you're a huge fan, I know this is a bittersweet day because the season ends, but I hope it turns out like you are wanting it to turn out. And maybe we can talk about it later on during my live on Saturday. All right, everybody, have a great night, and I'll talk to you everyone later. Bye-bye.